Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Force with some more Destiny gameplay footage. It's been a little while, but we are now a week away from the launch of this game, coming to the Xbox and PlayStation consoles. Alas, still no discussion of a PC release, which means we're probably a good year away, if at all, from seeing that. I think they said something about Destiny 2 should be coming to the PC, but who knows about this first installment. But anywho, we're going to take a look at some Destiny gameplay footage. What I'm showing you specifically today is known as a strike. Now, to me, strikes feel like mini dungeons because they've got bosses in them, and you're pretty much there to try to collect loot. But I believe what they're technically considered are these co-op story missions. So it's essentially a continuation of the story mission that you'll go through as you're leveling up your character in the single player experience. And basically what'll happen is you'll queue up for this thing, you'll get matched up with a group of 2 other people, and you'll get dumped into the exploration mode of wherever this place is located. So for example, this strike is known as the Devils Lair. It is located in Old Russia on planet Earth. So once you queue up, you get brought essentially just outside of the instance for this area. And you can do things with your newly formed group of 3. You can do quests, you can do public events in the area, what have you. Something sort of annoying that I found about this method though, so instead of them just dumping you straight into the strike and then putting you outside of it in exploration mode, is that I formed up with groups in the beta and had people just not enter the strike because either they didn't know or they were just trolling or whatever, but they would just end up walking around in exploration mode and actually not walk into the instanced off area for what we were queuing up for. So expect this if you didn't experience this yourself in the beta, or if you didn't play the beta, expect that to happen. It's sort of an annoyance, unfortunately, and there's not much you can do since communication is severely limited in Destiny. One of my big complaints, I guess, about the console version of this game, whereas we would assume were there a PC version that we would have some sort of typing mechanic easily available to say, hey, doofus, stop wandering around, come inside, and let's fight these bosses and get this loot. What the hell are you doing? But anyway, so here's the first part of the strike, the first part of the Devil's Lair. Supposed to defend this mesh thing. He's trying to deactivate different layers. So we're gonna, it essentially works the way you expect it to. He's like, we've got 3 layers to deactivate. So what that means, you'll be fighting off 3 waves of enemies. So we completed the first wave, we're on the second wave now, and they get progressively harder with more enemies, varying enemies. In fact, we get some stealth guys here, which I was not anticipating, and I think I die sometime soon. It might not be right this second, but I do think I die at some point in this first phase. This was not the most impressive run for me individually. I'm pretty sure I died a handful of times, which you'll see as we go through it. I'm going to do this completely straight through, mind you. I just want to show you some raw, unedited gameplay, show you what this game's all about. It's pretty neat. I don't know. I'm really looking forward to a week from now when this game launches. Okay, this is where I die. There we go. So if you haven't seen this before, by the way, in a group setting, when you die, you'll just have your ghost here, and it'll just be floating above your corpse, and someone essentially has to come on over and revive you. It only takes a few seconds, though, so yeah. I literally think it's only like 2 seconds. It's a pretty quick revive process, which is good, because if it was much longer, you know, it could be kind of annoying, but anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game coming out. I'll tell you what it is, right? So it's a shooter. Duh. It's pretty straightforward, right? The shooting, the setting feels Halo-esque, which I really like. I like in the sense that it's the sci-fi setting with these different races of enemies and stuff. We've got basically the equivalent of the Flood and the Covenant in this game. The shooting is incredibly sound. It is very well put together. The sounds behind the gunplay, the feeling when actually impacting and hitting with an enemy, just all of that. Even the feeling of melee in this game. It all just it plays very well. It feels very good to play. And then there's the loot aspect. I think just the combination of those things, while it is, you know, some people have criticized this game for not, you know, reinvigorating the FPS genre, not doing much new, but sort of combining some successful things of the past. And frankly, I am more than okay with that. Like, I am more than happy for that experience. That experience with my friends in a brand new universe, in a brand new setting, collecting loot and sort of going through this power tier, this progression. I dig it. I can't wait for it. So I guess that's all I really wanted to say, is that Destiny is definitely a game that I'm excited for, and beyond this footage and the footage that we're going to see this week, the carryover from the beta, you can probably expect some more coverage from me, at the very least, for a handful of weeks as I play this. And if I play it longer, then the coverage will probably extend longer, because frankly, that's just what I do here on the channel. I cover the things that I'm playing, I cover the things that I'm interested in, and coming up, that's going to be Destiny, Dragon Age Inquisition, and a little bit of Arc Age. But let's get back on topic. We're here to take a look at this Destiny strike. So we've officially completed the first section of this strike, which is getting through those layers and then moving on to part number 2. In part number 2, we're gonna come up to, I guess, what we'll consider the mini boss. So this thing has got a wave-based section, and then the second phase is like this mini boss area. And then the last phase is the final official boss fight. I'm not entirely sure what my team was doing here, by the way. They're taking their sweet-ass time to get over here. But just fighting off a bunch of enemies. That's a captain right there. You'll see those in a lot of the groups. The captains are much stronger. They've got this overshield. But the cool thing about the class that I was playing here, I ended up playing all of the classes in the beta. But in this gameplay footage, you're taking a look at gameplay from a Titan's perspective. And as a Titan, I've got this grenade that I can toss that will blind enemies, which is really, really neat. What it effectively does is it has them walking around in a dazed state, in which they won't be attacking, and they're essentially easy targets. So we've got a few groups of enemies here, and these will continuously pop up while we're doing this. But in just 1 second, to the right-hand side, you're gonna encounter the Devil Walker, which is that mini boss that I was talking about. And oh, nice, I got an upgrade. That's very, very nice. As you level up and as you use weapons, you'll get access to more and more upgrades. So some of the special, I guess I'll call them magic weapons. I'm sure there's a specific term for them, but the green weapons, the blue weapons, the different tiered weapons beyond the common level, beyond the basic level, they will upgrade with you, and you can get things like increased damage, reduced recoil, fun upgrades like that. So this is the Devil Walker. This is a little mini boss here. You can also encounter the Devil Walker when you go through exploration mode in Old Russia, but you can't encounter the last boss through exploration mode. But yeah, here's the Devil Walker. His vulnerabilities are in between, basically the joint between his leg and his body, that little connecting part. Between the base of the leg and his body, he takes critical damage, and then he'll go through these phases in which his armor will be dropped down, and you'll have access to strike his engine or his core, whatever we want to call that, and we should be seeing that in a few seconds. But there's a few different spots of this map that you can sort of hide to try to avoid his fire. He's got several different things that he'll shoot out at you. So he's got this top large cannon that will lock on and shoot this giant beam. So there's that red beam right there. He locks that on, and then that shoots his major, huge damage dealing cannon. He's also got these little lasers that can shoot out at you in these volleys. That's the big blue laser. And then if anyone gets too close to him, you see those bouncing grenades there. He'll just repeatedly throw those out. So you have to avoid those, because those will explode and they deal pretty massive damage. So here it is. This is the part I was talking about. He goes through phases. His core will drop down, and you can shoot him right there in a huge vulnerability spot, which is exactly what we do. And then I move down here, pick up some more ammunition. Since it's been a while since we've taken a look at Destiny gameplay, I might go through some of the basic stuff here. So just as a recap in terms of the weapons in this game, you can notice on the left-hand side, there are 3 different weapon classes. There is primary, secondary, and special. And each of those weapon classes have unique ammunition that will drop for them. So basically, it's the white ammo, the green ammo, and the purple ammo, and all of those respectively will give you ammunition for whatever slot, whatever weapon you have in those slots. So no matter what primary or secondary weapon you have, so examples of secondary weapons are like shotguns and sniper rifles. Whenever you pick up green ammo, whatever you have equipped, whether it is a shotgun or sniper rifle, that ammo will fill up. And the same is the case for the special and the primary weapon slots. So you'll notice I get closer here, and he's got a few different attacks. He's got that little laser in the front there that he'll shoot out at you. You can see those mines continuously coming out. It is very stupid for me to be this close, but we were just about to drop him, and I thought, it's fine. So we went up nice and close, blew that up, and what did I die to? I died to those grenades. Those bouncing grenades that are the problem, and the reason you don't want to be sitting too close to that thing. And now you know why. I think I don't recall. It's been a while, but I don't think I got rezzed for a little time. So we're gonna get to take a look at sort of the third-person perspective of my allies here as they go throughout and kind of do whatever. I almost wish, I'm gonna be honest, I almost wish that this game allowed you the option to still have the crosshair in the center of the screen or wherever it's located. I think with Destiny and like Halo games, they do it a little bit below center, just to give you a better view of the height. I know they do that with Halo, but I guess we'll confirm here in a second. But anyways, point is, I almost wish that they let. This is so funny. We're both dead now, so now it's our allies' turn to come and try to revive both of us. I almost wish that they let you just play in third person. You can eventually revive yourself. It just takes a long time. You can't do it immediately. So I'm gonna actually run back and try to revive him, and I'm actually really concerned because do I die here again? Okay, no, good. Well, maybe. I'm really yeah, I think it'd be kind of neat. Yeah, so you can see this is what I assume. Notice the crosshair is not actually in the dead set center of the screen. They did this in Halo as well, and I believe the idea is to try to give the game a more vertical feel, a more massive feel, with you being able to see more above the center of where you're shooting from. So it sort of gives a sense of verticality to the environment. Yeah, but I think it'd be kind of neat if they had the option for us to play from that third-person perspective, especially because this is a game. Yes, it's a first-person shooter first. It's primarily an FPS, but it's also got heavy RPG elements. I mean, there is the acquisition of gear. You have got a special character, a unique snowflake that is going to be. This is so awesome. I love doing the ultimates. You've got a special character that has got his own look and his special magic abilities, such as, when I do my ultimate that we just took a look at, it goes to third-person camera. When you go on your Sparrow, which is your mount, it goes to third-person camera. If there was a toggle there, I would really like that, especially, again, in a loot-driven game where you're constantly acquiring gear, you're replacing your helm, you're replacing your pants, your boots, you're replacing your chest piece, and that visual aspect is satisfied in the tower, but I wish you had the option at the very least to do it throughout. So here we are, final phase of the strike. This is the boss fight. It's basically a giant version of an enemy, of a more specialized enemy that you'll fight in the game. I really like this fight. I dig it though. It's got a few different things that he can do. So he's gonna shoot out these like laser things. And he finally started this, basically a warm-up phase. So he's gonna shoot out these laser things at you, these big like pulse purple beams. If you get too close to, he sort of does this like suck-in mechanic, and then he will randomly blink somewhere in the map. So sometimes he'll like blink right above you, and then he can do massive damage when he's right next to you. So that's something you have to be very careful for. Not sure if I die to that, though I do think I die at some point in this boss fight. As I mentioned earlier, this was not the most impressive display of my Destiny skill, but I still think it was a great showcase of the strike. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed it so far, and that you're going to enjoy this last boss fight here. So here he is, periodically blinking. He's blinked to fairly safe locations for us so far, and then in addition to him moving around and him constantly shooting us and having to dodge that, we're also going to get waves and waves of these basic enemies coming in that we're going to have to dispatch of. It's pretty obvious when they come in. They actually drop in from the lower quadrant, from the lower section of this area, so you can see them before they're actually close enough to do too much harm. Gives you time to prepare, and again, just be aware that it's happening. So there you go, he just blinked above us. I do hope that he blinks at some really dangerous spot, though, because it's just so hilarious when it actually happens. If you're wondering that big purple swirly thing there, that's actually the Warlock's grenade. It's like this vortex thing, and it'll continuously sort of do area of effect damage where it lands for a few seconds after. So this dude, you have to hit him so here you go, you can see, again, obviously more people coming in. There it is, he actually blinked right above me, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Luckily I didn't end up taking too much damage, but it is something you have to be careful for. Alright, we get some enemies coming in from the dropship. The dropship will also shoot out at you, similar to how the Covenant dropships did in Halo. And there really are a lot of similarities, and we're not going to beat around the bush here. There is a lot of things similar from the Halo universe and enemy types, what you see in this universe and enemy types. But I do think that they're trying to mix things up and make things a bit interesting. I'm not really sure. I think the AI is good compared to certainly some other online shooters. Specifically, you know, I played through Firefall but a few weeks ago for its launch, and the AI in that game is just dreadfully dumb. I think the good thing about this game, as it is, you know, it's not a full-on MMO. That was just an unnecessary death. It's not a full-on MMO, but it is a multiplayer game, and you're going to be constantly playing with other people, other random people. But it's not whereas in Firefall, where you can see like 50, 100 people around you at any given time. Here in Destiny, at most, I think I've seen like 10 to maybe 15 people around me. And that's not because there's not a lot of people playing Destiny, but it's just because they partition it off to a much greater extent. And what that allows you to do is really have, in a lot of cases, tighter gunplay. Because you compare sort of MMO or big, massive multiplayer gunplay to sort of the more single-player tight experiences, like a Battlefield or a Call of Duty. That gunplay compared to PlanetSide or Firefall, the massively multiplayer games tend to feel a little floatier, and a lot of that has to do with just the technology behind latency compensation for people with different connections. There's this big pulsar thing. The point of all of that is, though, that this game, while it has some of the MMO hookings, it's not a full-on MMO. And it's much more partitioned with less people in any given area, any given time. And the way they built the game, it allows for less latency compensation and it allows for tighter gameplay. And that is another one of the things that I just really, really love about this game. Again, the gunplay just feels so tight, so good. And I kind of went off rambling, but that is it. That's the end of the strike. So I guess that's going to do it for this particular video. Thanks, guys, so much for joining me as we talk a little bit about Destiny. Take a look at some footage from the Devils Lair throughout the course of this week. As we lead up to the launch of Destiny, you're going to expect some more coverage from me. And then after launch, so long as I continue to play it, I will probably continue to cover it as well. Oh, here's a nice little RP sitting down. See, this is it. Look how cool it is looking at my character. I wish I could look at him all the time in third-person perspective. But, you know, it is what it is. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a fantastic day. Stay tuned for more coverage coming up. Keep watching and keep owning.